Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder. And in today's video, we are going to be giving you another update on our Call of Dragons project. New kingdom start, the NASTi project, if you will. No pun intended, or maybe so. And as always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up, because it helps out a lot. So, today we are officially announcing that we have a third leader that we have selected out of 7 at the moment. Last update we were at 2, previous one we were at 1. So essentially every time we do find a new lead, I like to give an announcement, which so far is seeming as though it's about every couple weeks, give or take. We ended up finding our third on the 8th of May. So again, I know I'm a little bit late here, about 9 days on this update video. Again, kind of going over that we had made the selection after finishing up the vetting process. Keeping in mind, as always, right, this is a marathon, not a sprint. For those of you that, of course, are interested, I'll get to that in a moment. Keep in mind, our project at the moment, again, currently, is only officially recruiting leaders. And if you're interested in being a lead in R5 in the project, right, we definitely encourage you to apply. You can find information here by just simply joining the Discord. Link to that will be in the description, pinned comment down below. And then once you come on here, you can just go to our CoD Positions channel, and then you'll be able to see some information on some brief expectations. There's a video you can watch, then an application too as well to fill out. Again, we're not doing anything for officers. I don't even know if the officer one was actually there unless I'm blind. Oh, good. Okay, I did remove it. Fantastic. So mainly just that for leads. We have a recruiting update, right? So again, as of that time, we had 439 people that were currently still in the server and had reacted to our COD project role. Plus 45 from last announcement. And then we get to kind of helping with recruitment, right? Of course, we're really only looking for leader candidates at the moment, with the idea being that we want to recruit leads and then officers and then open it up to the general public for all members. Now, again, you might be asking, well, boss, clearly there's not 439 leaders in the project and or officers, and you would be absolutely right. With me saying that is more so to say that anyone can join really at the moment. We're just not officially opening it up and saying, you know, hey, we're open for business, anyone and everyone can join. And a big part of that is because I think it's important to set expectations appropriately. By focusing on recruiting top down, where we fill in leads and then a couple officers per alliance, at that point we will be ready to go, right? We'll be able to say, okay, hey, we're set on our foundation. This is what our start date is going to be. And then at that point, usually the influx of players joining will see an increase. And it also makes it easier for people at that point when you're publicly promoting it as, hey, we're ready to go. Anyone and everyone can join. Because then they already know, they already kind of have something to look for. They have a target in mind that isn't too far away. So again, that's one of the main reasons why we're doing it the way we're doing it this time. And then, of course, if you're already in here, right, what can you do now? We have some information here on each, and I'll go over some of the channels too as well, as always a friendly reminder or kind of refresh. But again, you can always take a look at our resources channel, goals, plans. We have a timeline channel too as well. But just to kind of go over the application, which is something I like doing each of the videos, just as a refresher, right, for anyone new that might come around and find. Right, we just simply ask a couple questions. We have, what is your Discord name? You can see we have 21 applicants. I think I checked this at 20 last time, so there's a new one I have to take a look at. Which region are you in? And I'll talk about this in a moment too as well. Which region are you in or closest to? What are your active times on average daily, right, in UTC time? What's your age range? You know, we ask people to watch the video on leading the alliance, then kind of just, you know, what stood out to you. If you have any kingdom builder experience, right, please list that out here. What's your daily routine as a leader from when you first log in and log out for the day? How do you find and manage your officers? What type of mails would you send out? And then we have 2 scenario questions where we kind of just ask you to basically write out a message for how you would go about explaining the situation to said player, in one where it's an individual, and then one where it's an officer. And then the last one is we just ask, you know, why do you want to be here? Why join this project over another? What, you know, kind of goals stand out to you here? And then the last one is just some information that we have listed on here, which is just me kind of reserving the right to have final say, and just what your general thoughts are on that. Sorry. The one thing I wanted to touch on real quick is the number here at the top. So some of you might be wondering, if so or not, well, boss, you've selected 3 leads so far out of 20. And if I can do some math, that's basically a 15% approval rate at the moment. And yeah, I think so, right? Yeah, because 5 would be 20. Okay, good. I need to make sure I can count correctly. So, or sorry, 5 would be 25. So the idea being is that, and this is something I like to, once again, setting appropriate expectations, or realistic expectations, I should say, is that I don't know how other people go about vetting leads, but I've done a number of projects myself, and which I have listed here on my resume, on the resume channel, right? So if you want to get some information on me, right, I have some general information, games that I've done, amount of projects I've ran, which I think is 9 so far, and it is one of those. It's one of those opportunities that you have to continually develop how you go about recruiting, how you establish an application process, what does your vetting look like from beginning to end. And so for me, this is just something that I very much have enjoyed doing, and it's also, I think, important to make sure that you are selecting at least the best on paper candidates that you can, knowing that there may always be opportunities if you are ever to run a project again, where you can look at what those takeaways are, right? What were the strengths and weaknesses of your vetting process, of your application, of how you interviewed people, and hopefully try to make improvements, right, if and where possible or are able. And I'd like to believe that based on kind of how we have it set up, usually we'll have people fill out the app, and then I'll do an interview with them, 20, 30 minutes or so, and then we may call them back for a second or have someone else do a second if needed, and then we'll kind of let them know, right, yay, nay, or what the next steps would be at that point. So just wanted to mention that. Now, as far as some of the individual channels go, we do have kind of a Start Here channel, which you can go and kind of get general information. Of course, if you want to join this section, you would just go to Reaction Rules, and then it's this one right here for CoD NASTi project. It's going to be the third from the right, and that'll open up this section for you. We have a timeline channel, which basically just kind of lets you know like where we are right now, right? And just kind of shows you we are here, some other information there. Our announcement channel, we have a sign-off channel that will be opening later, just not right now, but just kind of gives you some highlights on information that can be found here in the category. I already showed you the positions. We have a goals channel, which I actually just updated this too as well, right before I did the video, just a little bit, kind of cleaning up some wording and some touch-ups. And then we have a plans. I actually updated this. We added number 5, and I cleaned up a little bit of text here as well. Then we have a resources channel, which again, I'm very much a fan of, less is more, right? We don't need to have 1.5 million resources channels for different things. Just learn how to condense. And again, this actually can be updated a little bit too as well. But I think most of these, with the exception of, I probably have to go through this again. But the idea is the basic shell and the outline, right, is pretty concise. And you can kind of get a lot of takeaways, or easy, I should say, to find information without having to dig too deep. We have a recruitment channel, which kind of goes over some information as far as what our ad is, if you want to be able to kind of go in and paste that as well. But it's, like I said, it's not really absolutely necessary at the moment because, again, we're not at that stage. I mentioned my resume. If you want to go and look at information there, we have a town hall channel, which basically will eventually kind of ping people in here. We'll post VOD recordings or town hall meeting recordings in here for people to watch who aren't able to join. And yeah, that kind of goes over everything we got so far. As always, these are pretty short and condensed. And again, if there's any questions, please feel free, right? You guys can always reach out to me on Discord. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy these as far as, me kind of documenting the real-time progress for the project. At least I hope. It seems like a number of people have been interested in just kind of wanting to know how that is. And I think once we get closer to starting, my hope is to really try and put out daily, if not every other day, content. That's my hope in my head, because I think it can be really important to see how those things play out, right? So you can kind of get a behind-the-scenes look along with a real-time look on how the project is going, and being able to kind of hear, more objectively and honestly from me on what my thoughts are on the progression and just kind of how things are going from a day-to-day or week-to-week basis, at least as often as possible. And yeah, and hopefully maybe it can lend some good advice and knowledge and wisdom to those out there who are looking to do their own projects as well. So if you're interested or you think that's something you'd would enjoy watching, whether it's being live streamed in real time or if it's just daily every other day or as often as I can, putting out those kind of behind the scenes or just kind of how the project is going, regardless if it's an up or a down, right, let me know in those comments below. That's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch y'all later.